Today I'm taking you inside my mind as a 4KD player and breaking down a bunch of clips to really help you understand what is going on in my head. Why do I make the decisions that I do? We're also going to be really paying attention to movement today. What movements am I using? Why am I using them? And how do they actually help me in that situation? Before we jump in, take a second, hit that thumbs up button down below. And if you are looking to get better, make sure you are subscribed. I do videos every single day, tip videos, gameplay breakdowns, anything that I can think of to help you improve as a player, drop more 20 kill games, increase your KD, and have more fun. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So we'll go ahead and break down each clip, and then I'm going to play it for you full speed. This way you can really see how it actually plays out in real time. And by the way, we're going to be doing a mix of Fortune's Keep and Rebirth clips. Now, in this first situation, it's going to be a 1v3 fight where all three players are actually in this house right here. So as I'm pushing up, I'm not going to try to ego this. I'm not going to try to Joe this, use my movement, get in there, finesse everybody. I'm going to play a little bit slower. I'm looking for an angle here to play patient and get a clean down and thirst. And you kind of see me playing piece of cover to piece of cover. I push there. Now I'm going to peek this angle. Now I peek this angle. Now I'm going to go ahead and push up. And once you get this opportunity, don't miss it, right? So I'm going to be able to get this down and get this thirst, which then gives me the information. Now, I, in this moment, am anticipating that people are going to play very predictable. I'm pretty confident that one of them's probably going to challenge in this doorway. What ends up happening is one of them pushes to the left. They actually split this very well. So they're going to hit me with the snapshot. One is going to be over this way, which I catch. The other one actually does peek this doorway, which is why you're going to see me drop down right here. So I'm actually getting shot from the right as well. Now, the moment I drop down, I have cover from that enemy that's in the doorway. So now all of a sudden, though, I can actually re-peek this. He stops shooting. Once again, we use the UGM, which is an absolutely insane primary, probably my favorite to use right now, and we're going to go ahead and get the down. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is my anticipation. I don't full send for this thirst right here. As I push in, watch how I check the doorway first to see if this enemy's here. My centering's not perfect, but I'm not going straight in for the thirst. Notice that little hesitation right there. You're going to see it full speed. That little hesitation before I get the thirst to make sure the roast skin isn't in that doorway. Now we're going to get the thirst. Now, this is a little bit of an aggressive play. I'm in a good position, but as you start to get more confident in your execution and become a better player, I've got 46 rounds, so I'm in a really good spot. I have the information about where this enemy is. He's on my level, kind of out in the open. He doesn't have a ton of cover, so being down a plate and a half here, I'm not too concerned. So I'm going to go ahead and challenge this with momentum, immediately push out, and I'm able to finish up that fight, get the team wipe. So let's go ahead and watch it back full speed here.
Let's see if we can get a clean pick. Here they come.
Enemy UAV active. Is within reach. Reinforcement disabled. Under heavy fire here. Gas is closing in.
Let's go.
So clip number 2 here, we've got some Rebirth After Dark. And as I'm respawning back in, I also catch this enemy right here who is also flying back in. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my loadout and immediately challenge. I'm going to end up missing a few shots right at the beginning here, right? Or like right a little in the middle, which basically forces me to take more damage than I would have liked. Now, notice that 2 enemies are straight across from me on my level. They're clearly in 4 square right there. And what we're going to be paying attention to, I want to be very careful with this, and I want to explain this as clear as possible. I'm going to always be pushing. Now, I'm not saying play with an ego. I'm not saying challenge when you're at a massive disadvantage. This is a situation where I kind of have to fight my way out of this. So what you're going to see, what we're going to pay attention to, is how I'm going to time my pushes to keep control of this fight. I'm going to push them instead of just waiting for them to push me. A lot of you just kind of wait around the corner and you're like, I'm going to wait for this guy, and you lose the advantage. Whereas here's what happens here. I'm going to challenge around this way. I'm trying to create a window to ultimately break their camera or create a window to where I can get the down and thirst. So I'm going to go ahead and cure this guy over to the right. And watch how I play this. Watch how I always keep pushing. I'm going to pop in. He's right to my right. I get the audio cue from the footsteps. I'm going to stim. I'm going to push right into him so he can't shoot me at this point. And then I'm going to jump backwards, and I'm able to use the hipfire PPSH, which has the fastest TTK right now. I'm able to get that kill. Now, once I get the thirst, notice this enemy is pushing me. So once again, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I don't have plates. I don't have time to plate up. I don't have time to loot that enemy. So what I'm going to end up doing is, once again, just playing a little patient, I'm just waiting. I hear him pushing. He shoots. There's my opportunity. So I'm going to challenge this way. I'm going to once again anticipate around this corner. We catch him in the tack sprint, and we're able to get that down in third. So there you see a situation where I keep pushing, I keep control of the fight, but it's not necessarily me playing with an ego and trying to be over aggressive. This is a situation where I have to fight my way out of it. So I'm going to keep pushing and keep control of this fight as much as I can. Let's go and watch it back full speed.
One right down below here. As soon as I get loadout, I'm gonna go challenge him. I'm taking so much damage with this thing.
Enemy hunter's lost the trail. In their sight.
So as we're jumping into clip number 3 here, real quick, as I mentioned earlier, if you are looking to get better at Warzone, just make sure you are subscribed down below. I do videos every single day, just trying to help you improve as a player. Now, clip number 3 here is all about anticipation and centering. This is one of the best clips that I ever have when it comes to centering my crosshairs and really helping you understand how to do it and why it is so important. Now, right here, we're going to go ahead and get this kill. You're going to see on the minimap that this enemy right here has flown back in and is now on my level. So as I push through this doorway, notice the centering of the crosshairs. Notice where my crosshairs are. So I slide cancel around this corner. My crosshairs are out. They're exactly in this doorway where I anticipate him being. And now I notice that he is not there. So I've cleared this area right in front of me. I immediately push up a little bit more. Now, as I turn the corner, once again, notice the centering of the crosshairs. And by the way, right there is the slide cancel. Notice my character is standing up. My crosshairs are perfectly centered on this doorway. Now, I still don't have the best angle. I'm able to tag him a little bit, but watch this one right here. I want to really slow this down and help you understand how early I go about slide canceling to center my crosshairs. As I turn this corner, my crosshairs are already out right here. And now as I push through the doorway, now I'm kind of moving my crosshairs to be able to lock onto this guy a little bit. And we go ahead and we're able to get that down in third. So as we watch this back full speed, we'll watch this back full speed together. I'm going to notice it. I'm going to immediately go push. We slide cancel there. We slide cancel center, and watch me push through this doorway. And it's just such a clean and fluid motion pushing through this doorway because I'm slide canceling so early. So let's go ahead and jump into clip number 4 here. So clip number 4 is going to happen super quick right here. And there's really 2 movements that we're going to be focusing on in this scenario. Now, to start us off, what's going to end up happening is I'm going to break through these doors and catch both enemies right in front of me. This is not a good position to be in. And understand that I cannot immediately start shooting one of these guys. Reason being is either one of them or both of them can stop what they're doing, start shooting me, and now I'm getting team shot. At that moment, I lost the gunfight and I'm going to go down. So what I end up doing is I tag this first one just a little bit with a hip fire. I'm going to tack sprint and then jump peek this corner. Now notice how far out there I get. This jump peek does 2 things for me. First, it creates the window for me to get this first down because he's still aiming over to my right because I jumped so far out there. But the bigger one is I created a barrier between that second enemy. Because I jump peek so far, he's still in this doorway or behind this wall. So what ends up happening is I'm able to get this down, at which point I don't worry about the thirst just yet. I immediately focus on this second enemy and go back to this last clip about centering my crosshairs, slide canceling around corners. I'm going to go ahead and slide cancel right here. Look how early I get my crosshairs out. I'm easily able to get that team wipe right there. So as we go back, look at this. Watch it happen full speed. Jump peek, immediately focus on enemy number 2, and just like that, we're able to get that double kill. So let's go ahead and jump into clip number 5 right here. So clip number 5 is the art of the re-challenge. You know I love a good re-challenge, but this one's a little bit different than the ones that we usually break down. As I start off here, I'm going to go ahead and push through here. We're able to get this down, and notice this enemy right here that's going to pop through this doorway. Right there. So I catch a glimpse of him and didn't really think about the fact that he caught a glimpse of me. Plus, I'm shooting an unsilenced Blixen, so he definitely knows that I'm right here. Now, I say that because I make a mistake right here. I slow peek this corner, which he's already ADSing me, and I take a ton of damage. Now, this is a last chance re-challenge. I have no choice but to actually re-challenge this situation. And what you're going to see is how I set this up. Usually, the re-challenge situations that I show you, I get shot in the back, I go around a corner, I break that line of sight, and then I immediately re-challenge by sliding around that guy guy, and it's pretty easy. This one's a little bit tougher because I don't really have a lot of room to work with. So what I end up doing is I slide across. So now all of a sudden, and notice that I do take damage right there. I took a little bit more damage. I'm down to probably 40 health at this point, but I've now set up my re-challenge by breaking the line of sight. And he's going to go ahead and anticipate around this corner. And what ends up happening is because he anticipates that way, I've now created my window of opportunity to get the down and thirst. Now, yes, he is low health right there. That's not really my problem. But as we pull this back, you see how by simply sliding across and breaking that line of sight that way, I set up the ability to create that window. I set up this reach out. We slide across. We immediately slide back. He's aiming over in that corner, and we're able to get that kill. And yes, I do get away from that last enemy that's pushing. So let's go ahead and jump into clip number 6 right here. So we're going to go ahead and kick off clip number 6, the last clip, by taking out the sweaty violet rose skin. And this kind of sets up the rest of the clip. Notice that we have one on my level over to the left right here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab plates. I'm going to start plating up. And then what ends up happening is I hear him pushing up the stairs. So I'm going to go ahead and push down here, reposition. And this is an immediate re-challenge. I've got 45 bullets in the MP40. I'm fully plated, and understand that people play very predictable. You should already in this scenario be thinking, this guy's definitely going to chase me, which is exactly what he does. As I turn the corner, sure enough, there he is. I hit all high damage areas. Now I don't oversell for the thirst here. I'm already anticipating that other enemies are going to be very close by. Why? Because people just love to stack in Rebirth. So I'm going to go ahead and push through here and take a different angle. Notice once again the centering. So as I get this down right here, I go and I start being unpredictable on my own. So I push around, because if this enemy were to push in this doorway, if there's another enemy, he's going to be looking basically where I was, and now all of a sudden I'm in a really good spot. Now people ask me all the time, Joe, why do you do this next move that you do? I'm going to go ahead and slide past this enemy because it gives me a little bit more cover. Notice where I went a little too far. Let's go ahead and pull it back here. We're going to go ahead. I'm going to have cover basically from this left side, from this little doorway right here. There's only a little angle that this guy can shoot me. So I slide past and immediately start pushing in this way. Now, this is where people really start to get predictable. Once again, I've got somebody on my level. I've got 21 bullets, which is enough to take somebody out. So I'm going to go ahead and stim right here. And what do you know? Once again, exactly like I said, people tend to chase. Don't chase people, anticipate and think ahead, especially if it's an even gunfight. So what does he do? He's going to push around this corner, and I'm just going to go ahead and take advantage of him, playing right into my game, which is him chasing, and I'm able to take him out. Now, a lot of you are like, what happened to the last guy? Last guy basically just stayed in control right here, so we loop around, we're able to get the thirst. So as we go ahead and play this back full speed, we're going to start off taking out the TikTok player. We use a little bit of movement right there. We're going to see this guy pushing in, so we're going to go ahead and plate up, and then we start playing a little bit quicker. We're going to be repositioning. We push down. We basically anticipate that he's going to be chasing, which a lot of people tend to do. Sure enough, there he is. We're going to go. We're going to reposition, try to see what we can find that way. Now we're going to go ahead and kind of push around. And that's basically how today's video is going to end. So I hope you found today's video helpful. As I always say, let's get better today, and I will see you tomorrow.